G'day everybody and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we are going to talk about will the crypto summit tomorrow, March 7th, be a buy the rumor and sell the news event. I want to know what you think. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments. Thank you for those who take the time to write the wonderful things that you write. And of course, those who ask questions in the comments section, I do get back to you as soon as I am able to. However, if you'd like more immediate engagement and interaction, you can find me in the Discords below. There are links below. There, you might need the more button and it will pop open the description for this video. Right at the top, there's the Stocks with Josh Discord. There are links there to some. Tribal Trades Discord is closed, but there's an email for the waitlist there. But you can find me in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel there where I share education, insights, some resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? All right. And so let's jump into the show. And first of all, check out, can we find where there's going to be a list of people? Here was a list today sent out just recently about updated and confirmed there. And I only actually see one, the Chainlink co-founder, but I don't see the names of any of the other founders or CEOs of the tokens that have been listed. However, if you go to a news article there, it does actually state here that a larger invite-only reception has been planned across the street from the White House for those not invited to the roundtable meeting. So now I'm thinking there's two things going on, a roundtable meeting and then a different meeting happening later or at a different time. And so now the guest list is a bit confused. Who's going to this roundtable meeting and who's going to this invite-only reception? And then, of course, as we scroll up, we have a bit of a list of who's attending President Trump's White House Crypto Summit on March 7th. Now we don't know, well, who's going to be at the round table and who's going to be at the invite-only reception. And so there are a list of names there, both of these. So there's just so much unknowns. It seems to change all the time. Or we can know that anything can happen, and it probably will. So let's talk about what may happen there. Is it going to be a buy the rumor and sell the news event? Let's talk about the things that have been rumored but are unconfirmed. One, a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Rumored but unconfirmed. As we see down here, Bitcoin to be treated differently from altcoins in US crypto reserve, says Howard Lucknet. The president definitely thinks there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Now there will be a question of how do we handle the other crypto currencies, and I think that model is going to be announced on Friday when we do that. So we don't know. It seems like maybe they're going to be separated, and Bitcoin's going to be part of its own strategic reserve, and then the other cryptocurrencies, I'm not sure. Are they buying these ones? Are these cryptocurrencies donating some of their currencies for the White House to hold? How is that going to work? I'm not sure. I don't think anybody really knows except those who are part of that very much inner circle there. Maybe David Sachs would know, for example. So is it going to be a buy the rumor and sell the news? And is there going to be tax exemptions on the made in the USA? We know that this current president is big on the made in the USA. So you would think that the big news that could come out is some kind of tax exemptions for anything made in the USA there. And so this, because what he'll want is for the innovation to happen in the USA, for those that are overseas to come and bring their innovation to the USA. So I think that would be a big one. That's what I'm pinning today as being a big announcement, is the made in the USA. Are we going to get our Bitcoin strategic reserves, and what other role do the other altcoins have? So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be a buy the rumor and sell the news event? Or do you think there is going to be more push on, that this will be the catalyst that will push Bitcoin to new all-time highs? Usually there'll be some kind of pump that will come out of it, unless it just falls completely flat, of course, and everybody is completely disappointed with what is announced. But if there is something exciting announced, but is it already priced in? For example, I am still taking the risk off approach until I see a trend reversal. Price is truth, and the charts is what is speaking at the moment. Now, I've given these levels time and time again. Talked about the 50-week moving average, which is currently around $75,000, just a little bit over, as being our bull market last stand. Okay, the 50 EMA on the weekly is a place that has been tested before. That's around the same spot there, sitting at around 77,000 there is a good buying the dip by a major correction opportunity. Just like we saw in April and May of 2021, it did come down to the 50 EMA on the weekly, and that would have been a good buying opportunity. We didn't quite make it, and maybe we won't. However, the other buying opportunities I gave you with the 200-day moving average, historically always been a good place to buy, which was at 82,000. And then the 200 EMA on the daily, of course, as we've shared numerously, the last time it was there was back in the low 60s. And then before that, it was in the low 50s, low 40s, and the low and mid 20s. And if you'd bought at every time the 200 EMA was tagged, you would have made significant and considerable profits on those buys. And so if you believe that we still are in a bull run, then this 85,000, of course, the 200-day moving average and the 50 EMA on the weekly, although that didn't get tagged. Now, where are we up to? What did I say to you? We wanted to look at the 20 EMA on the weekly now, which coincides with that key Fibonacci level of 90,700, which puts us now back in the range. And again, what did I say? We have a deviation outside of the range of 100,000 there, one deviation, two deviation. We spent most of the 3 months, barring about 3 weeks, where we had deviations inside this range from mid-November to mid-February. Now we have a deviation below the range, and if we go on the daily time frame, we can see that more pronounced. Now, what am I looking for? So here is the bottom of the range right here, where the 20 EMA on the weekly just happens to be, and we can see is this has been a deviation. So far, it's a deviation outside of the range. This is quite bullish there, and you do see a nice pattern to the upside on the daily, creating higher highs, higher close on each candle. Now, today, we did close yesterday below that Fibonacci level and below the 20 EMA on the weekly. We've come down a little bit now off it, and we do want to see that close above. And look what we got rejected. We got rejected at this Fibonacci here at the 92,800 Fibonacci, which just happens where the 100 EMA on the daily is, okay? And maybe we look at adding a little trend line there. That can obviously help just to give some extra confirmation there that we have the 100 EMA on the daily time frame. We'll put that in 100 EMA on the daily there. Okay, that helps us as we put that in. And so now we've created another level. So you can see we're just playing this level. You buy here, you can sell at this level. Obviously, you can buy at these levels down here, either sell at this level, sell at this level. Play it level to level. I've outlined and created a great roadmap for everybody here to navigate. Now we want to stay above this Fibonacci, 90,800. We need to stay above. We're above it now. We need a daily close above that level to be officially back in the range. And that would be very bullish. And then we've got to see what happens tomorrow, whether we stay in that range or not. And of course, today, whether we push on and even break through this next key level of resistance of 92,800, okay? Now, of course, long term, we've got to the line to get a new all-time high is to get above this 100,000 level. This is where we broke down from the buy bet hack as we were moving up and everybody thought we were going to break through here. this is the line in the sand that we need to get above and get above that 100K barrier that is there, 99,600, to be back and get out of this range. And so we have been consolidating in this range. I wouldn't say that we've lost this range yet, because you could have said, oh yeah, we've lost this range and now we've left it behind. It was just a deviation outside of the range. And here we see a deviation below the range. And now we're actually back in the range. And let's see if we can have a close, multiple closes. I'd want a daily close. Then I want to see a 3-day close in there. And obviously I'd want to see the Sunday candle close inside there above the 20 EMA on the weekly there. As you can see, it has moved up a little bit. So we are going to have to move this just a touch there for the 20 EMA on the weekly time frame there. Okay, so you do have to move those EMAs and moving averages as they move. Now let's look at the yellow brick road, because we're going to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And as you can see, there is on the 48-hour time frame, there's a lot down there at 86. That's quite a good distance from where we are. But if it is the buy the rumor, sell the news, that could be where we come down to in the charts. 86,000 there. We go to the weekly time frame. Let's see. We have most of the liquidity on the weekly time frame is at 95,000. So we might push up to 95,000 first, and maybe there is a sell-off back down to 86. This will just exhaust some people, all these ups and downs. The kangaroo market, g'day mate, kangaroo market there. Again, there's a lot of liquidity on the monthly time frame, up at 100K there. But of course, we do see what is down there in the 6-month time frame. Now, some people said, oh, you know, the market makers are going to come and get that, but they may not come and get that right away. They could come and get that in the bear market. And of course, some people think we're in a bear market already, but we see down there at 61,000, there's 6.38 billion, but there is just a lot down there around $73,000, $74,000, $75,000, 75,000. There is a lot there around that area, 76. You can see it there. So that's that key area there that we could come down to. So let's look at that. So we were looking at that 86K. We're on the shorter term time frame. That's back where our 200 EMA on the daily is. So we could come back and test that, and that's going to be okay. We could even close under that, and that's okay as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a sell, buy the rumor and sell the news event, unless something from left field, some white swan announcement came out. You could just see a little bit of a drop down. Now, obviously, if they do a Bitcoin strategic reserve, that we could see some quite huge upside there for some Bitcoin. Altcoins would move with it. So we just have to wait and see what comes out, what kind of legislation needs to be passed, and how long that would take, and what they're going to commit to in words, just not saying, yes, you know, we've talked about it more and we've got to flesh the ideas out, and there's nothing concrete there that could lead to a sell-off. So that's the immediate one that I'm looking for there at that 85K. We know there's a lot of liquidity there on the liquidation heat map. And then, of course, we know there's a lot of liquidity to the upside at 95, which is, again, taking us back to the middle of the range. And so we could see a quick shoot up and then a sell-off back down to 85. Or we know that there is a ton of liquidity also at that 100K level, which we need to bust above. To get a new all-time high, we've got to break and close above that 100K candle there. That's super important. Of course, we've got these levels here. We already talked about that earlier, to keep an eye out and look out for. Obviously, the 100 EMA on the daily and a key Fibonacci level. This is a double Fibonacci level and 100 EMA on the daily. That's why we found some pretty strong resistance there, and we weren't able to break above there. There were a lot of sellers there that sold this pump. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, I'm interested to hear what you think is going to happen on Friday. Do you think there's just going to be a pump, a sustained pump now, and we're going to pump through to the usual sell in May and go away, so get a good pump now for the next couple of months? Do you think it's going to be a bit of a pump and dump and then pump, or a pump and dump and dump? I want to know your thoughts. And of course, until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.